Alright, what's up, family? It's Sunday, you already know what time it is. You already know. I hope everybody out there, doing whatever they got to do to survive and make ends meet and just, live your best life in this fuckery, man. It's hard. I know it's hard. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna act like I don't get stressed out from time to time. Trying to keep my head above water, you know what I mean? And, shit just be wicked out here. And I know I people in a lot of extreme circumstances. I got a lot of shit going on just with my family alone. So I know y'all families are the same, like we all going through this shit. You know what I mean? So, I just wish everybody the best and, peace to everybody. With all that being said, I want to talk about voting. It's a big thing. Of course, we just had the midterm elections this week that just passed. And a lot of interesting things were said about this whole voting thing. Now, family, keep in mind, anything that I'm going to say is not a personal attack on anyone. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. I'm just trying to get help, whatever I can, and trying to, for us to collectively get into the truth of things for the sake of our babies. All right. I mean, if for anything, we got to start doing this for our babies, and we got to start really thinking of it like that, because, what's around the corner, what is coming up is some end times, some crazy shit. And those of us who just refuse to see the truth of shit, I hate to say it, but you're going to be the first to go. Like, you're going to be the first to go. You know what I mean? So, just from what I'm seeing and my vantage point is like, we really got to get serious. And it's the thing, we have to drop our ego. Our ego is blocking us from seeing the reality of shit a lot of the times. And, ego is the number one thing that will block you from getting into your higher self, from, raising your vibration. Because, a part of raising your vibration is being in tune with the truth of things. And how can you ever really get into the truth of things if you just constantly just trying to defend whatever viewpoint you already have? This is the thing, family. Understand, it's not our fault, but it's just a fact that you are fed lies from day one. Okay, I'm talking about there's so many lies being thrown at you from everywhere, a little subconscious shit that you're not even necessarily aware of. And these lies then been put out there from the day you was born. The same thing with your parents. They've been lied to. Your parents' parents, your grandparents, they've been lied to. Your great-grandparents, they've been lied to. Like, these lies go back a long time. You know what I mean? This shit is like, this problem that we're in the middle of, this is not a new problem. You know what I mean? This is a problem that has been in the making. I'm not even saying in the making. We've been actively in this fight for thousands of years. You know what I mean? A lot of us, read The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. That man took, I think he said 10 years to write that book. Like, that's not just a bunch of bullshit in that book, family. You know what I mean? You got to start reading that kind of stuff. Like, we've been through a lot. You know what I mean? And you've been lied to a lot. So you have to know that there's a great possibility. You have to start considering the possibility that some of your viewpoints, a lot of your viewpoints, are based on and rooted in those lies that you've been told. You know what I mean? And to be real, everybody is lied to. Not just us as black people, white people, everybody. You know what I mean? Everyone's being told a bunch of goddamn lies. So, everyone is under the same kind of programming. And that's the thing, though. You can't on one hand say, yeah, I know that programming exists, and then on the other hand think that you are in no way, shape, form, or fashion affected by the programming. You know what I mean? As much as I try to see my way through all the bullshit, I know that on a certain level, I'm affected by the programming. You know what I mean? So that's, fuck all that egotistical shit, family. Like, we got to start thinking of it instead of saying, I just want to defend my opinion, right? We got to start thinking, okay, I just want to know the truth of it. So if I have an opinion and you show me some facts that make me say, you know what, maybe, my opinion was based on, some things that I didn't know. And now that I know these new things, fuck my old opinion. This is my new, see, that's called evolving. Ego is going to stop you from evolving. So this is the thing, family, like with this whole voting thing, I'm seeing a lot of, black people say things like, well, your ancestors died for you to be able to vote. I'm seeing a lot of us say, well, if you don't vote, you can't complain. I'm seeing a lot of shaming people who don't decide to vote. And what seems to be happening is like damn near like a civil war happening in the black community, where it's like you have the black people who honestly seem to be more consciously aware of a lot of these things and be more passionate about it. Those are usually the ones that have a problem with this voting. You know what I mean? Because see, the thing is, what the ones who are trying to be more, cognizant of what's really going on, we see how voting is basically like marching, right? So you got those people, and then you got the other people where it's like, I think their intentions are good, but I just think that they still have this like just false belief in this system. You know what I mean? It's like they just ain't give it up yet. Like it's just like the voting. I mean the marching shit. It's like you got a lot of people that still think after the 39,000 march that we done did that somehow that's gonna be the key to our freedom. You know what I mean? And the voting shit is in the same category. You know what I mean? Because there's so many layers to why voting in the way that we're doing it now, especially, is not going to work, right? It's just, it's not going to work at all. You know what I mean? Just like that marching shit does not work. They don't care. You get out there and march, so what? They don't give a fuck, okay? And then the voting thing, family, listen. Who are you voting for, right? That's like the big thing. See, in politics, right, you vote to get things in return, right? You vote for people that you think are going to actually make your life better, that are going to make our life as a collective better. But family, who are you voting for, right? See, right now, what we're doing now is we're being deceived into thinking that these liberals and these Democrats, right, are somehow are like salvation within the government. We look at the government and we see it as you got the bad guys over here and then you got the good guys over here. And so we need to vote for the good guys to get the bad guys out of office. But family, have you ever considered the possibility that both sides are the bad guys? Both sides are the bad guys, okay? Both sides are the bad guys. So you're not voting, you think you're voting against the anti-Trump, but really you're voting for people that in effect are just as damaging as Trump, if not more. And I'm gonna tell you why. I would argue it's even more. These Democrats and these liberals, as Malcolm X tried to tell us, right? And on a side note, family, for those of y'all that, real big on the voting thing and y'all, shaming other, brothers and sisters for not voting and not believing in this bullshit anymore. What do you think Malcolm X would say? What do you think Martin Luther King would say? What do you think Marcus Garvey would say? What do you think, Angela Davis would have to say? Right? What do you think, rest in peace, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing? What do you think she would say? You know what I mean? Like, we've had geniuses, family, like that have came along and, really done a good job in their own way of breaking down the system that we in. And it's like, we got to start referencing them. You know what I mean? We got to start referencing them because, they were extremely informed on what we're going through. See, family, if we're going to be honest, right? And it's not our fault, but if we're really going to be honest, like fuck all the egotistical, fuck that. Let's really be honest though. If you a working person, you caught up in a rat race, you don't really have time to really like in-depth study this topic, like to really get an in-depth, real deep. I'm not talking about that bullshit that you're gonna see on BET. I'm not talking about that fake ass Black History Month shit where all they do is tell you about all the black people that assimilated and integrated. They teach you to be proud of Jackie Robinson instead of being proud of the Negro League. You see, like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about real reading. How many of us really can genuinely, honestly say, right, no bullshit, that you read a lot about this topic? And it's not our fault, right? Because a lot of we at work most of the time, we have to survive. So it makes sense. You got to work, you got to get your money, right? You know what I mean? But then when you come home from work, it's not like you're going to throw your head in some books, right? You want to spend your time doing things that, you know, you want to do. You know what I mean? You want to, you know, relax. Maybe if, you know, you got kids, you want to spend time with them. You want to, you know, watch TV. You want to, you know, go places. You want to, you know, you don't want to come home from work somewhere you don't want to be and then throw your head all in the books. And, you know, that's not what most of us is doing. So you have to understand, though, family, like, that means that to a certain extent, you're going to be uninformed about a lot of how all this stuff works. You know what I mean? You're not going to see it as deeply as someone who does study this all the time, who does put their effort into learning and reading, and you just, it's no way. And it's not to say that you can't be on that level or you're less than the person who knows, you know, what they know or anything like that. It just means that you are just not at that level. And see, this is the thing. It doesn't matter what age you are, because you could be 40 years old and not know as much about a topic as someone who's 20. You know, age doesn't automatically mean you know more about everything. You know what I mean? I don't care if you're 50 years old. You can't tell LeBron James that you know more about basketball because you're 50 and he's 33. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people out here that are very self-educated. You know what I mean? Which is really what you have to be to really understand this shit, because going to college, you just getting the propaganda from them, because they control those institutions. So they're only going to, you know, let the knowledge go but so far. I'm not saying everything you learn in college is bullshit, but I'm just saying, like, it's only going to go but so far. So, family, like I said, with this voting thing, what if both sides are the bad guys? Because let's have a good look at what the people who we think we should always vote for, right? The liberal Democrats, what do they stand for? Right? What are they pushing? Well, let's go through it. One, which should be a big indicator that these people are not really our friends and the agenda that they push is not for us, okay, is the fact that we see all these police killings, all these vigilante white people out here, you know, killing black people, calling the police. We seeing our sisters get beat up in, you know, these nail shops. We seeing all this violence being done to us, right? We see it. And the Democrats, right, are pushing for gun control. Family, do you know how big of a deal that is? That with all the shit that's going on with our families and the people that's supposedly the good guys for us want us to buy into the idea of giving up the guns, not protecting your family, right? I mean, look, if someone knew that there was a war on the horizon, right? Say you knew for a fact that in the next year there was going to be a war that was going to break out, right? Which, family, I mean, at this point, if that's like completely out of the realm of what you think is possible at this point, I would just say you need to just start paying attention more, like, because everybody know it. White people know it. You know, a lot of black people, everybody can see that, you know, where the trajectory of this shit is headed. Like, it's not like the writing is all on the wall. Like, it's not even difficult to see. You know what I mean? So just think about that. We on the brink of something major. You can feel it. Not only can you see it, you can feel it. We on the brink of something major, and these people are pushing for you to give your guns away? Did that sound like someone who's really your friend? Or does that sound like someone who comes to you pretending like they're your friend just to stab you in the back? And see, that's what's going on, family. You got the conservatives, Republicans, right? The Trump supporters, that side of it. You know, they're just like blatantly against you. They don't even try to hide it. It ain't no, but then you got the liberal Democrats that Malcolm X warned us about, right? That are playing like they're your friend, that are coming at you from a different angle. They're coming at you like, yeah, you see those guys over there? they fucked up, right? Yeah, we don't fuck with them either. You know, vote for us. We your friends. But in reality, what they're pushing is just as poisonous, if not more poisonous, than what the conservatives is pushing. Let's look at something else that the liberal Democrats are pushing. They are in big support of abortion. Now, family, abortion, there's no way around it. It's killing children. That's killing a baby. At the end of the day, it's no way around it. You can try to flip it and twist it however you want. There's no way around that, family. Abortion is killing a child. Okay? Just because the child is not developed into a full-fledged, ready to be born baby, does not mean that it's not a baby. Okay? That is a human. At what point is the seed not a human? Because this the thing, family, once you accept the fact that that is killing children, that it is killing a baby, then now it's like, how could you support that? But see, that's why they can't call it that. This is an example of how they are really, really good, and these people are masterful at this. They are really good at taking things that are actually bad and turning them and twisting them and flipping them in a way that makes you think that it's actually a good thing. They know how to put a real good sounding spin on shit. They are the masters of that. They're the masters of that, family. And to keep it a million, we fall for it a lot. A lot of shit. Everyone falls for it. Because really this whole shit, Western society is based on that, principle, really. Making something that's really not good sound like it's really good. You know what I mean? And that's really, it's just not real. You know what I mean? It's just, it's not. And a lot of us can see through it, but abortion is killing children, family. Right? You can't say, oh, because it's, not all the way developed, it's a fetus, that's not killing a baby. That's like saying, look, if I'm a planter, right, and I plant a bunch of, say, carrot seeds or whatever, right, and say you come dig up the seeds before the shit's grow into a carrot, I'm still gonna feel some type of way about that. Like, you fucked my carrots up. You know what I'm saying? Those seeds was gonna grow into carrots. That fetus, that seed that's inside of your womb is gonna grow into a human. So once that process starts, family, you can't say, oh, well, that's not killing a child because it's not all the way developed yet. It is a child. And look, let me make this clear. I am not trying to disparage anyone that has had an abortion. There's people in my family that didn't have abortions. I got a lot of love for them. I don't blame you. Your intentions hopefully was in the right place. Some people feel like they have children too early, whatever, with the wrong person, whatever. It's not, like I always say, I don't put the blame on us. I put the blame where it belongs. You know what I mean? Because they're really good at programming you into thinking that these things are okay. But it's not okay, family. It is killing a child. So this is what the liberal Democrats push, right? So now we got gun control, or better yet, gun removal, gun confiscation, right? Then we got abortion, right? That's not good for the black family, right? I mean, I think everyone could agree on that. Let me tell you one more thing about the abortion. Everyone know, I think this is like common knowledge, white people are currently at a negative birth rate, right? They're at a negative birth rate. And it's not just in the United States. This is pretty much in the entire Western world. That means that they're not having enough babies to replace the humans that they have now. So they're down off, basically. And then, black people all over the world, we reproducing like a motherfucker. Like, even with all the abortion, with all the, it's real incredible. Like, black people in Western Africa, some of those women, they're on average having 7.5 children. Like, and I mean, come on, that per woman. They say that by the year 2050, that half of the world's children are going to be black. By the year 2050, it's 2018, family. We talking about 32 years. No time, for real. In our lifetime, half of the world's children will be black. Well, in some of our lifetime. Half of the world's children will be black. And they say by the year 2100, that half of the world's population roughly will be black. So they are the negative birth rate, right? And then we reproducing like crazy. Could that be the reason why in the white communities there's fertility clinics? In the black communities, it's Planned Parenthood. You see what's going on? White communities, fertility clinics. Black communities, Planned Parenthood. Family, it's right in front of your fucking face. Okay? And this is what the liberals and the Democrats, who so many black people keep trying to shame other black people into voting for, are pushing. This is their ideology. Let's go into another one. Let's go into the whole feminism thing, right? Look, say whatever you want, right? Feminism is not pro-family, okay? How you know a lot of, if you know black feminists, how many of them do you see having successful families? How many of them do you even really putting that as a priority? You see what I'm saying? Like, even just ideologically, feminism is not about family. Feminism has turned into, at least, a lot of female narcissism, female egoism, because your females have egos too. Okay, it's not just a male thing. Women have egos too, and feminism inflate the fuck out of women ego, because what it basically tell women is, you are the same as a man and can do everything that a man could do, but just better. And I mean, think about it, family. It's like politically correct at this point to say that women are better than men. You know, I mean, come on now, family. Like, I mean, look, if I make a post right now and I say women are more intelligent than men, I might get hundreds of likes. But let me make a post say that men are more intelligent than women. That's gonna get a whole nother reaction. You see posts now, all women are queens and they deserve a king. Let me make a post saying all men are kings and they deserve a queen. It's a whole completely different reaction. You know what I mean? Listen, and I'm not one of them people that try to beat up on our women, because our men is just as fucked up. Like, we all fucked up. But once again, it's not our fault though. It's not our fault. Like, I don't put really any of the blame on us for some of the ways that we think and some of the ways that we are. Because a lot of this shit is due to environmental things. A lot of it is programming. A lot of it is passed down traditionally. There's a lot of shit going on all at the same time. It's a lot of moving parts. So feminism, abortion, gun confiscation, gun control, okay? And then also they're pushing this homosexuality, transgender, LGBT community agenda. This is what they're pushing. Which, I mean, I don't even think I have to go into detail about that. And see, this is the thing, family. Listen, anyone that supports that movement, ask yourself this question. Would you be okay, and be honest, don't give me the little politically correct answer, be real. Would you be okay with your son coming in the house telling you that he thinks he's a girl and now he wants to start wearing your wigs and he wants to be a woman and he's going to get his genitals cut off, and you know what I mean, he's a woman, he's a transgender, you know what I mean? Or would you be okay, would you be happy with your son coming in the house saying, you know, I don't like women, I like men, you know, I don't want to have no, I'm not gonna have no children, or, you know, I like men. Man, listen, a lot of y'all could come, you know what I mean, with this politically correct shit and try to, but I mean, if y'all really gonna be honest, y'all wouldn't be feeling that. Most people wouldn't be feeling that. Ladies, how many of y'all out there deal with a man that tell you he like to go both ways? Come on now, women, y'all not feeling that. If a man come to you and tell you that he did anything homosexual, you probably gonna be like, oh, okay, you know, I ain't trying to, you know what I mean, let me, you know, you may still be cool with him, but you definitely not gonna want to be in a relationship with him. You know what I mean? And this is the thing, the gay people that are gay now already, you know, it is what it is. I don't have a problem with them. I don't, like, you know what I mean, what you do is what you do, but at the same time, when they're pushing that agenda, and it almost seems like they're trying to make people gay, which, by the way, is not something that you could say scientifically is not possible. No one can say that it's a fact that you cannot be turned gay, especially from an early age. You know what I mean? Like, it's incredible, because if someone has like some kind of weird sexual fetish, or someone's a certain kind of way as an adult, you know what I mean, if you go talk to a psychiatrist, they're going to try to dig up your childhood to figure out, like, if there's some reasons why you would have this weird sexual fetish or whatever. So if that's the case for a psychiatrist, why is it not applicable to someone who is homosexual? If you've been exposed to homosexual type of things as a child, keep in mind, you're basically like a sponge, like at that point. You know what I mean? Like you're open to a lot of things. You're open to everything. So what is to say that at that age, at a certain age, you can't be molded into being homosexual? No one can say that that's definitely not a fact. So now, if we don't know that it's a fact, you know what I mean, and just looking at common sense, I would say it is possible. So look at what they're doing. They're pushing this shit constantly in your face, It's almost like right now, the sentiment is like, to be a gay black man is cool, but to be a regular heterosexual black man, no, you're that's toxic masculinity. Like, it's so many things that they're calling toxic masculinity now. You know what I mean? Where it's like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, it's like there's an attack on masculinity. And listen, family, doesn't it make sense if there's something major coming up, right? If there is really something major coming up where it's going to get chaotic out here, where it's going to be damn near every man for themselves, right? Ain't going to be no 911. Ain't going to be no damn call the fire department. It's going to be like how when them big hurricanes hit. You know what I mean? It's going to be every man for themselves. The rule of law is going to be done, right? So in a situation where that's coming, and you want to control the people, when you want to attack the masculine presence, when you want to take their guns away, when you want to make sure that, put in their mind to not have a lot of children and to just divide and conquer the women and the men up completely, isn't that what you would want to do? Right? If you knew you was going to invade a community, right? Isn't that what you would want to do? You definitely want to get the men out of the way. You know what I mean? You got to get the men out of the way, because the men is going to be the first line of defense. You know what I mean? We the protectors. You know what I mean? And this is the thing, women, I know, we be fucking up out here a lot, but one thing you have to know about our men, we warriors. We warriors. When it really come time, these men that you looking at, these gangsters and these gangbangers and, these men that you've been taught to look at as just the scum of the earth, they're going to activate. You're going to want you a gangbanger around you when shit get real. Trust me. You're going to want somebody that has experience with warfare. Trust me. Because a lot of these people that you think is, the good guy, they're going to fold up. A lot of these, they're going to fold. They're going to crumble immediately. You know what I mean? Immediately. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't know nothing about that. They don't know nothing about what it's like to be around gunshots and that shit is real. It get real. So, of course, they want to get us out the way. You know what I mean? This mass incarceration. Look at the Democrats, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. I mean, come on, man. Look at the laws that they set. They locked a lot of brothers up. Right? They come as our friends, but they really is our enemies, family. That's the point that I'm trying to make. We keep talking about voting. Vote for who? Listen, in the 4-day laws of power, you know what I mean? There's a law that says, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember the exact wordage, but it say, give people 2 options so that they have the illusion of control. You give them option A, option B. You give them liberal, you give them conservative. You give them Republican, you give them Democrat. Right? So that they can pick between the two, and they think that they have control based on them being able to pick between the two. But the thing is, in the law, in the 4-day laws of power, it says it doesn't matter which one they pick, it's going to benefit you. Family, that is the game that we are being played with right now. That's the game being ran on us right now, family. Think of it like a football team. You got the offensive team and the defensive team, right? But they're both on the same team. And see, that's really kind of how it works. And it's interesting because it's working reverse, right? So you got the conservatives, that's like the offensive team, the black people. You know what I mean? They offend us. They attack, like, we don't fuck with them. And then the defense is the liberals, because you get the attacks from the conservatives, and then it's like, oh, let me go be on this side. They talking more of my language. You know what I mean? At least they even admit that white privilege is a thing and that's real, and, racism is a factor. Like, that's who I'm rocking with. I'm rocking with the liberals. But family, they're just playing good cop, bad cop with us at the end of the day. Because if you look at the liberals and the Democrats and you look at the policies that they're pushing, it's not good for us. Now, what I was going to say too with the offense defense thing was interesting about that. The conservatives is like the offense for us, like offensive to us, and the defense is the liberals. But then with white people, specifically white men, and this is why Trump is the president, it's the other way around. The liberals was what offend them. You know what I mean? They offended by the liberals. And then the conservatives is meant to be like the defense for them. You know what I mean? And it's interesting because you can see the agenda work, because you can tell that the liberals, they do shit to intentionally agitate white men. Like, you can clearly, and white people in general, like, you can clearly see that that's what's going on in the media. When you look at a lot of these Hollywood films and CNN, and just a lot of things, if you just pay attention, like, you can see how they're trying to agitate them, because they're trying to polarize the two sides. Because, family, what's coming up is ugly. And you being able to survive through it and protect your children, okay, understand this. When you want to think about your children, or, loved ones that you have, right? If you want to survive, a lot of your survival is going to be dependent on you understanding and being consciously aware of what's really going on. You know what I mean? Period. So the thing is, like I said, they're playing good cop, bad cop with us. And the liberal Democrats come to us like they are friends, but really they are sworn enemies. And I'm going to tell you something. Even Black Lives Matter is a prime example, and probably one of the most toxic examples of that whole coming as a friend but really being an enemy shit. Because when you look at Black Lives Matter, first of all, it's financed mainly by George Soros. Now, family, I want everybody to go Google a picture of George Soros, and please tell me that you would feel comfortable with him picking your baby up. You would feel comfortable with him just being in your area. Like, please look at the picture. Just look at it, family, and tell me that this is someone that you could see as our friend. Like, he looks friendly to you. You know what I mean? Like, he looked like some whole other shit. And that's a whole nother conversation. You know what I mean? So it's funded by George Soros. So that right there should tell you that it's not really for us. Right? Now, once again, the attack on the black family. If you go to the Black Lives Matter website and you read what their mission statement is, this is what they say, and I'm going to paraphrase again. They basically say, well, we don't support the European, or what they say, Eurocentric family structure, which is propaganda automatically, because what they're saying is basically a man and a woman is some European shit, right? That's not some African shit. That, you know what I mean? That's not our culture. You know what I mean? That's some Eurocentric shit. See, look how they trying to manipulate you right there. Right? Because if you know about African history, you know that's a damn lie. You can see that now. Right? So they make it seem like a man and a woman is some Eurocentric shit. Right? And they say, we support same gender ran households. 2 women raising a child. 2 men raising a child. That's what Black Lives Matter supports. Or they support single black mothers. Nowhere in there about a black man being in the house. No, they don't support that. They support 2 women raising a child, 2 men raising a child, or a single woman raising a child. Go look it up. You think I'm lying? Go look it up. Go look it up. Look at the leadership of Black Lives Matter. Look. Family, that's not for us. It's a trick. We can't keep falling for these tricks. We've been falling for these tricks since shit like the NAACP. That's a trick. They come as your friend, pretend like they're on your side, and they really just trying to control you. That's it. That's it. They just the good cop and the bad cop, good cop, bad cop situation. So who are we voting for, family? When you say that if you don't vote, basically our ancestors died for us to vote, which we need to stop saying that, because that is disrespectful to our ancestors, really, to say that. And I know the people who say it, it's not their intentions to, you know what I mean, be disrespectful to the ancestors, but in effect, that's very disrespectful to the ancestors for you to even say that, because our ancestors did not die and fight for us to be able to vote. They died and fight for us to be free. That's what they died and fought for us to be free. Now, at the time, they thought that voting would be a means to that end. So, of course, voting was a part of what they fought for. But the question is voting at this point in time, is that going to make us free? It's not going to make us no more free than marching is, family. We have to completely, see, we got to start thinking of this stuff in the big picture and start thinking a lot bigger. You know what I mean? We need to be thinking about creating a whole new paradigm. You know what I mean? A whole new paradigm, because it's really going to be necessary very soon here. And that's another video. But we got to start thinking about nation building for real. We need to start challenging all Eurocentric philosophies. Everything that you think is civilized in the advanced way, you need to start rethinking it and start trying to understand our ancestors. And, you know, we need to look at the big picture. And that goes for us here in America, throughout the entire diaspora, and that's for our brothers and sisters on the African continent too, which and we're going to get into that whole thing later too, because there's an agenda to keep us separated, and I think that's clear. That's clear. You know what I mean? They want to keep Africans all over the world separated, because the minute that we all link up and start to see this, you know, the oneness that we really share, it's game over. And understand, family, what we are up against is global. Don't think it's just America, okay? That's another way we fuck up. It's not just America, it's global. You know what I mean? But I digress on that. But who are we voting for, family? Okay, these black politicians, let's talk about that, right? That's a trick. That's one of the easiest tricks that they put on us all the time. Family, just because it's a black politician does not mean that it's actually working in the collective of black people. How many times do we have to be shown this for us to accept that? In fact, what's fucked up is that a lot of the times when they put black leadership in some kind of political position, we usually get treated worse. Because then if we getting treated like shit and there's all these racial attacks, we can't, if we say it's racism, they can just say, hold up, but that was a black person that did it. Like, case point example of that, right, is this crazy ass shit. And y'all got to look into this if you don't already know about it. What the fuck is his name, man? Michael Slager. That fucking Michael Slager. Okay, that disgusting, filthy ass human that shot and killed our brother for nothing on camera. And what was the brother name? Damn, I'm tripping. Walter Scott. Michael Slager. Okay, the cave beast that shot Walter Scott for nothing on camera.